to watch me live. Hi, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am videoing live on YouTube and also on Facebook. And if you're joining me tonight, welcome and thank you so much for joining me. Tonight, I'm going to be testing out these mica spray powders, epoxy, and I'm also going to test out this scarlet color in the Jacquard Pearl X. It's a mica powder. And then I want to try to recreate the beautiful colors that my family did when I had my family pour. I fell in love with the colors that they were using. And so I want to try to recreate a flower. And I know it's not going to look anything like my niece's. She did a beautiful job. And this is what she poured over the bottom of a Coke bottle. And so I'm going to be doing the same thing. But right now, we're going to test out these mica powders. And if you're joining me on YouTube, my face was cut off a little. Sorry. Let me try lowering my chair. Okay, that helped a little bit. All right, so thanks for joining, y'all. Okay, so yesterday I was testing out the unicorn spit. And if you have not had a chance to watch that video, it's on my Facebook group and it's also on my YouTube video, my YouTube channel. And so I was testing out the unicorn spit that I picked up on sale at Hobby Lobby. And I loved it. It kept its color when I mixed it with Floetrol, which was really nice. So I do like the unicorn spit paints. And then the other one was we were testing out chalk paint. So I had a couple people ask me if you can use chalk paint when you're doing acrylic pouring. And based on yesterday's test, I would say yes. So if you find some chalk paint on clearance, it is also acrylic paint, but it's got more of a matte finish. But yes, you can mix that in Floetrol and it did beautiful. I mean, I was happy with it. I would like to test it a little bit more and just see how it works with different techniques, like maybe doing a swipe, just see how it works. But I was happy with it. And then I think those were the only two things that I tested yesterday. I didn't get a chance to do the mica spray, so I'm going to do that tonight. So if you want to watch, I would love to have you. And if you can hear me okay and you can see okay, if the video is good and the sound is good, please give me a thumbs up or drop it in the comments and let me know that you've got a clear view and good sound. So we do have to mix up some epoxy. I'm just going to do a little bit because I just need enough for these two tiles. Let's see. So I'm going to test 3 colors on epoxy on here. And over here, I'm going to test the mica powder with a little bit of this spray in it. Mix it with epoxy and see what happens. And I'm going to do the same thing with this metallic color. It's a gold. And I'm going to try to see which one is closer to its color. I'm going to spray some of this and this, mix it in epoxy and see what happens. So for right now, I just need to mix up some small cups of epoxy. We're not going to really need a lot because I'm only doing it on 2 coasters. And then my pour tonight is going to be on this wood board. So let's get to mixing. I need a marker. Okay, so if you've watched my videos, hey, Tabitha. Ooh, that'll be fun. I know, right? I wish you were here. I need a pouring buddy that lives really close to me. So sad. Okay, so I'm going to mix my epoxy. And what I do is I can kind of gauge how much I'm going to need. And as you start working with epoxy, you'll be able to do the same thing if you're just a beginner and you're just starting out. But what I have learned is that you can find the height where you want to mark your cup for your epoxy. So for example, I'm going to see where the height of this wood piece, if that gives me the right line on my cup when I mark it. And that looks about right. So I'm going to go ahead and mark the whole cup. And I can't take credit for this little hack. I got that from Jessica Mascioni. She works with epoxy, and I got that hack from her. So I cannot take credit for that one, but I'm so thankful that I was watching one of her videos one day and took that away, and now I use it. So it's a great hack. I love it. Okay, I'm going to be using Stone Coat Countertop Art Coat. It's my favorite epoxy to use as of yet. Right behind it would be art resin. I like the art resin too. This Stone Coat has about an hour to 30, hour 45 is stretching of working time. And you can tell when it starts setting up because it'll start getting thick and tacky. And so you can always take your heat gun or your torch and just heat it up a little bit to make it more fluid, to give you a little bit more time. But I've never needed that long of working time, just because I usually get done way before that. So, but it's a wonderful epoxy. You order it online, and as you can tell, I need to order more. I haven't ordered any in a while. I have brand new bottles of art resin, but I really need to order some more of their Stone Coat. So anyways, all right, let's get started. I need to put my gloves on. I cut my finger today opening my sister's mail. I had her permission. And you know how you open up an envelope, you put your finger underneath that lip of the envelope and go like that? Well, it tore my skin. So it's a little tender, and I'm kind of babying it a little bit. But anyways, all right, so here we go. We're going to start with part B. It's the thinner one. And I can see the line really well because I, marked it with my black marker, which is really nice because my eyes are not good. And so that black line really helps a lot to be able to see what I'm filling up to. And then we're going to get the part A. That's the thicker one. And right before, the bottle has gotten sticky. Right before you get to your fill line, when you're pouring the thicker one, I like to let up on the, whatchamacallit. I like to let up on the bottle because it's thicker and it takes longer to spread out and settle. So what I will do is right before it gets to the fill line, I'll let it up. And I don't want to use the same popsicle stick, so I'm going to get a new one for part B or part A. So here we go. It's slow like a sloth. I promise there's some in this bottle. It's just not coming out yet. There we go. And I just moved around in a circle so it'll kind of level evenly. And then I'm going to stop it right before it gets to that fill line because it needs time to settle. And I think I got it perfect. Okay, there we go. So then we're going to transfer that. Let me see, will that fit in? Yeah. I'm going to use another 2-ounce cup to pour them both into. And I like to start with the thinner one first, just because it's easier to pour the thin one in first. It'll mix better after you pour the thick one in. I know that doesn't probably make sense, but it does when you're working, ouch, with epoxy. I just like to pour the thin one in first. And you got to scrape the sides of the cup and the bottom, because I promise you, just when you think you've got all of it, there is more in there hiding, hugging the sides of the cup. And you do have to have equal parts, as close to it as you possibly can. So I do a lot of scraping. Okay, I think I got it all on that one anyways. And then I'm going to pour in the thick one. Look at how slow it is. It's so slow. And it's so stinking thick. Yuck. It's like a really super thick honey. I'm going to end up busting this popsicle stick. Ugh, what a mess. Tabitha, did you have to work today? What a mess. Yuck. If you're just joining me on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to be testing out some mica sprays. And then I'm going to be pouring over the bottom of a Coca-Cola bottle to get a flower design with some of my favorite colors. I've done it before. I'm just trying to recreate a color scheme that actually my niece did. It was the first time she poured. She was here visiting with other family from Florida, and hers just came out so gorgeous that I wanted to try to recreate it. I'm going to be having an auction soon on a lot of my pieces, and this is just one of the color schemes that I want to be able to offer for auction, just because I think it's so pretty. So, okay, we've got them mixed together. Now we're going to get a brand new popsicle stick, and we're going to stir it for 3 minutes. So it's 8:18. Yes, you had to work finishing up a piece while watching you. That is so cool. Wouldn't it be cool if we had a workshop together? Oh, Tabitha. That would be so cool. Big old giant workshop where we could just go in there and have all the supplies we need and create art together. That would be so much fun. My next house. I hate to say this, but I get jealous every single time I drive by a house and I see a workshop in the backyard. I automatically think it belongs to the wife, the female, and that it's her crafting workshop. And then my husband reminds me, oh no, I think that's an auto mechanic, and puts a damper on my dreaming bubble, my fantasizing bubble. But every time I see a workshop, I'll, on purpose, will drive by it and I'll say, oh, look at her she shed. And he'll say, babe, that's not her she shed. That's his workshop. I'm like, nope, it's her she shed. And I want one just like it, if not bigger. Yeah, it would be. Tabitha says, my goodness, it would be a dream come true. I know, Tabitha. I agree. Okay, I'm just mixing. I've got 1 more minute, maybe a minute and a half left. It's not cloudy anymore. It's starting to look more clear. And I'm going to take some heat to it and pop some of these bubbles. But I'm going to have to divvy this epoxy out into some different cups because I'm going to color it with these mica sprays. These mica sprays came in a package of 3, and they're by Holtz. And this is what it looks like. Got them at Hobby Lobby. And so this particular set came with pewter, brass, and bronze. So we're going to test them out and see. I hope Miss Cat Jack, I hope she's watching tonight or gets to watch tonight, because she said that we were talking earlier about how the alcohol inks, oh my word, I don't know the tricks yet, but I'll tell you what, when I do use them, I'm forever and a day wiping alcohol off of my piece, whether it's a tile or whatever. And she was saying that she has the same problem. So I don't know the tricks to it, but I'm just going to test these out and see. All right, 821. I think it's good. Let me give it a couple more scrapes on the side. Bah, I do the same thing. What is the trick to alcohol inks, Tabitha? I mean, I barely put 1 drop, and then when you're mixing it with the epoxy and it spreads out, it seems like the next day after the epoxy has dried, it seems like then you're forever, you touch it and you're getting, you know, alcohol on your hands. So I don't know. Let me dry this really quick. Okay, so I always like to share my tips, and this is one of them. I use this PVC contraption that I got at Home Depot. You can buy them at Lowe's too, and that's what I keep my heat gun in so I don't burn the house down, you know, setting it down on something that's going to maybe melt or catch fire or something. I don't know. And it just kind of stands on the table. It's really nice. Okay, let me get some cups. These 2-ounce cups are great. I pick them up at Walmart. I love them. So I'm going to need 3 for the towel because I'm mixing this mica spray into 3 different. Let me see. How do I want to do this? Yeah, I think I'm just going to mix 3 different colors. And then over here, I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do 3 different colors over here too, which I would not normally put these colors together, but just to test it, we're just going to see how this is going to work. Okay, so hi, Miss Cat Jack. I was just talking about you. I am seriously experiencing with alcohol inks. Yeah, we were just talking about how they run really bad and you're having to like wipe the alcohol off for days. Okay, so let me pour a little bit in here. This is going to be one color. This is going to be another color, and I'm just pouring enough to cover the bottom. I might have to mix up some more epoxy, but we'll see. I'm going to try to make this stretch. Okay. A little bit more. All right, here we go. Oh, well, it had a protective thing on it, but ouch. I don't know if that's going to spray. I'm going to spray it directly into the epoxy. So let's see what happens. This is great to see. I have not tried the ink in resin, but I have tried on tile, allowed to dry, then resin. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, Kathy, then maybe that's the difference, that you've got to try it in resin. But I don't know. We'll see, because even when I tried it in resin, I was constantly having to wipe off the alcohol, and then I had a resin over that. So we'll see. All right, let me spray it in here. It separates. It does not want to mix. Very interesting. I'm going to spray some more. It takes a minute for it to mix in, and it's translucent. Interesting. Okay. All right, that's that color. Let's see if it'll go a little bit darker. I need some scissors. Here they are. I gotta cut this little thing off here so I can get the cap on. Well, it does take an extra minute for it to mix in. So I'm very anxious to see how it's going to work on this tile. It's kind of like it doesn't want to mix in with the epoxy. You really have to stir it extra. All right, so let's go with this one. This is the pewter. I love testing products. So much fun. And I love it even more when I can use my coupon and get them discounted. I really don't want you to get in it. All right, so here goes the pewter. It's a pretty color. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see what 6 squirts gets us. I was kind of expecting it to be translucent like it is. And that is why I had decided that I'm going to use it in this experiment over here on my left. Because I want to see if it enhances a color. It'll be interesting to see the effects. Oh, that's really pretty. Okay, so the next one is the brass. Get these adult-proof packaging off of here. All right, so 6 squirts it looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, it wants to separate. I don't know if you can see. It doesn't want to mix. So you have to like stir extra. You really have to like go back and forth, clockwise, counterclockwise, and get it, whoops, I just squirted it out. You just really have to break it down by moving your stick around. It like wants to stay on the surface. Okay, I don't normally do this, but I think I'm going to I'm going to put a coat of something down. I'm just not sure yet what I should put, what color. You know what? Just for fun, let's use the unicorn spit. Just because I don't want it to be white. They're very translucent, so I just thought it'd be fun if this color kind of poked through, if a color has to poke through. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to dry it really quick. Okay, so this, the pewter and the brass, they're wanting to settle. Just in the few minutes that it was sitting there, it wants to settle, like it wants to like break apart, break away. Is that spray oil-based? Let's see. That would make sense. Why it's wanting to separate. Pearlescent pigment for porous surfaces. It doesn't really say, Tabitha. The packaging might say. Let me see. For coordinating signature palettes. It adheres to paper, canvas, wood, fabric, anything porous. It just says acid-free, non-toxic, pearlescent pigment spray. It doesn't say, Tabitha, but that's a good question. I'm going to save the packaging just so I can really look at it more later, but it doesn't really say, but that is a great question. Oh, Jeremy says hello. Hi, Jeremy. Is he there with you? That's good that y'all are home at the same time. That doesn't happen often. Kathy says, so that is actual mica spray, not distressed ink. Correct. It says, well, Kathy, it actually says on the packaging, distress mica spray. So, it is a mica spray, but I guess, you know what? This is going to be interesting. Let's see what happens. These colors are too close together. And I know I sprayed different ones in. This one is the brass. The brass is very similar to the other one. Let me mix this up really quick, and then I'm going to put them on the tile. Kathy, do you have a Hobby Lobby close by to you? That's where I picked these up. I'm sure Michael's carries them too, like maybe in the stamping section. Okay, there. Yeah, these two look very similar. All right, so I'm going to put some of the, I might have to mix up some more epoxy, but I'm going to go ahead and give this a layer of clear epoxy and spread it on there. Just to give them something to flow on. Of course, I'm using my favorite color. It's like spreading jelly on a piece of bread. Oops. It's rubbing some of the paint off. Okay, there. Let me warm it up. All right. Okay, here we go, y'all. This will be interesting. Let's warm that up, see what happens. It is very translucent. That's why I can't wait to do this experiment too, because I'm adding the distress mica sprays into the acrylic mixed with epoxy. So that'll be interesting to see how it fares. Pretty. It does have a shimmer to it. I'm really wanting to skip to tomorrow morning and see how it dried. Because that's going to be the true test. Yeah, it's so translucent, it's just kind of really disappearing. But it's still pretty. I'm glad I put that paint color in the background, and the paint color has streaks through it because I was using the foamy brush. So it's kind of cool. I'm going to try not to take any heat to it on this layer that I'm pouring, and just see if it see how it dries. He's in and out. Okay, Tabitha says they built one about 5 minutes away. I have to stay away. They built one what? A she shed? And then Kathy says, yeah, 30 miles. Oh, Kathy, I am so sorry. I am really spoiled because I have about 4 or 5 Hobby Lobbies within 20, 30 minutes, I guess. I really want some of this gold looking stuff. All right, this is going to be the last drips. It's actually very pretty. I'm not going to take any more heat to it because I want to see how it settles. It's really pretty. And I wish I had my glitter really close by because I would sprinkle some glitter in there. but it already has a shimmer. So, okay, on to the next science project. For the next tile, I might have to mix some more epoxy. I'll find out in just a second. Let me put this in the garbage. All right, so yeah, I think I'm going to have to mix some more epoxy up because that is not going to be enough for the 3 of them unless I just do the same exact thing. Let me paint this. With some unicorn spit. Whoever came up with that is genius. I buy it just because of the name. It's a cool brand. I mean, it just, you know, I'm going to go to Hobby Lobby. I ran out of unicorn spit. How cool is that? I'm going to try to make this epoxy last, but if it doesn't, I'll have to mix them up really quick. All right, let me set that down. Okay, so let me do, I'm going to do navy, and I'm going to spray in some, I'll spray some gold in the navy and see what happens. Maybe I should just do 2 colors. Oh, the Hobby Lobby is about 5 minutes from our house. Oh, from Hobby Lobby. Yeah, it did turn out pretty, Tabitha. I like it. It's very soft and flowy looking. Probably best for me, LOL. Amazon is bad enough. Yeah, isn't that the truth? Okay, so I'm going to put some navy in here. And then I'm going to spritz a little bit of that gold and see if that gold will settle on top. Let me add some heat to this. Oh, this navy is gorgeous. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so I'm going to spritz some of this in there, and what I'm hoping is that it's going to want to stay on top. We'll see when I put it on there anyways. Ooh. Interesting. Okay, let's see. I could have a disaster. Oh, it's starting to get funky texture. Oh gosh, let me take some heat to it. Oh yeah, it's starting to get real. It's still fluid, but it made that spray made it. You know how it starts turning into that foam, marshmallow foam stuff. All right, I wonder if I have enough to experiment with one more color. Okay. I'm going to spread this out. I need it to go all the way out. Take some heat to it. It's like magic. Once you get heat back on it, it becomes fluid again. So I don't have a lot of epoxy left. So I've got one more color that I'm going to experiment with. I thought I was going to be able to do 3, but I just don't have enough. And I think I can test what I'm wanting to test with 2 colors. All right. Gotta get my edges. Okay. This one's still, the colors have faded. It doesn't look as pretty as it used to. Okay, so the mica powder. I want to try mica powder with a mica spray and see if it enhances the powder in any kind of way. This is a brand new color that I just got. And it only takes a tiny bit, and I only have a tiny bit of epoxy, so it's not going to take a lot at all. Like, I have more of the blue, so we'll see how this works. It's very little. I'm going to add a little bit more, and then I'm going to spray some of that spray in here. Okay, so let me stir this little tiny bit of epoxy up. It's not much at all, just enough to drizzle maybe a line on there. Whoops. I really wish I had a little bit more. Okay, let's spray the bronze. Man, it does not like to mix. It kind of like stays on top, which is cool. You know what? Let's spray some of it on here before this stuff dries and see what happens too. Yeah, it stays on top and it wants to divot. Oh yeah, that did some divots. Okay, here we go. Ugh, this is turning really. Probably because I put too much acrylic paint in there. Oh yeah, yuck. Ooh, what a sticky mess. And then this little bit, I'm going to see what happens. That gold mica spray is wanting to settle on top. So it'll be interesting to see what it does. It's crazy. Okay, so you definitely, I put too much acrylic paint in the navy one, and I didn't have enough epoxy for this color mica powder. Okay, and so when I sprayed over here, it made some divots. So I'm going to try to move this around. Cover up those divots. Okay. Let me take some heat to it, and then we're going to get to my acrylic pour, which I cannot wait to do. And my husband just got home. Oh gosh, this stuff is turning into a nasty mess. I was going to try to put some on here. Interesting. I don't even know if I should touch that one.
Oh, leave it alone.
Hi, babe.
That's cool.
Well, I'm experimenting with products. Okay, so you probably can't see it with a camera, but the mica spray created like these cells, and it's wanting to separate, and it might have oil. It might be oil based, Tabitha. That would explain why it's doing that. Kathy says, in a normal situation, how much acrylic paint to epoxy for a tile or a set? And then my mixes have always been horrible. Okay, so I've always heard and watched on videos that you should never have more than 10% of whatever color you're using in your epoxy. So, for example, if whatever amount of epoxy I am putting into this cup, I should not have more than 10%. And you're really kind of guesstimating, because how can you possibly measure that without driving yourself crazy? I just squirted too much of the acrylic paint came out. So in reality, I should have put maybe not even the size of a dime, maybe the size of my pinky nail into the amount of epoxy that I was actually using. But I poured in there more like the size of a dime in there, and it was just too much. You know you have too much when it starts turning into that marshmallow sticky, stringy goo. You have mixed in too much color, especially if it's acrylic paint, into your epoxy. It doesn't so much do it with the mica powders. I've never experienced that with the mica powders, but when you're mixing acrylic paint into the epoxy, it'll do that, and that's how you know you're using too much. So if you can just keep that in mind, 10%. And like I said, without driving yourself crazy, how would you measure that? You just kind of have to eyeball it. So yeah, and it just takes practice. In the very beginning, when I started my pouring journey, I had a lot of that going on. I had a lot of the foamy, marshmallowy stuff. I'm just going to drag this through here and see what happens. You know, and over time, as I practiced and did more mixing and pouring and all of that, my ratios got better, and you just kind of learn. This is going to be way cool because it's got that turquoise underneath popping through. So just keep playing with it, Kat. Don't give up. And this one actually ended up being cool too. I should actually take some of this and do that. Okay, so I would like to experiment more with the mica sprays. I'm not against them. I'm not going to say that I didn't like it. I do like it. It's just going to take more practice and see what they work best with as far as what I do in pouring. I know Tim Holtz probably didn't create these for the pouring community. He had stamping and that sort of thing, embossing, that sort of thing in mind. But it's amazing what the pouring community will come up with to mix different products in with epoxy and see how they do. I'm excited to see how this dries. They still turn out really cool. I'm not against the mica sprays. So, okay. Yeah, so very little. Yes, Kathy. Yep. Like if I was going to fill this 2-ounce cup with epoxy, a part A and a part B, and together they made, let's just say 1 ounce. In that 1 ounce, I'm going to squirt in about maybe a dime size of acrylic paint. And if you need to add more, you can, but you got to be careful because that will happen. That foamy marshmallow foam stuff will happen. Okay, so let's move this out of the way because the part that I'm excited to do is the acrylic pour. So let me put some of this stuff aside. This is a dirty cup. This is a clean one. And I need to get some, I'm not going to use epoxy. I'm done with epoxy. So I can put this out of the way. I hate that YouTube and Facebook doesn't let you do this with music because it's so much more fun to work with music. You know what? I'm not going to use. I'm going to use wax paper. I just need to move these out of the way. So they can sit on wax paper. Try not to get it on my clothes. So Kathy, I will, on my next live that I do, I'll give an update and let y'all know if the ink stayed on the surface and I'm having to wipe it off like crazy, or if it cured into the epoxy and it didn't stay on the surface. I have a feeling it's going to stay on the surface and I'm going to have to wipe some alcohol off. It's probably going to take another layer of epoxy because I can see some divots. And that's just because if it is oil-based, it's going to create those divots. Okay. All right. On to the fun stuff. I've been waiting for this for a while. I use mason jar lids for my risers. You can also use detergent caps. They make really good risers too. There's all kind of different detergent caps that you can use. I've been collecting them so I can have sets of 4, and I need 2 more for this one, and I need 1 more to complete my set. So in the meantime, I just use what I'm used to using, and that is my mason jar. I want to scrape this epoxy up. Yeah, because it's going to end up mixing in with the acrylic paints, and it's going to make a mess. Let me just clean my workspace. How was work, babe?
It's good.
I'm not sure if that soup is quite ready yet. It should be.
Is it on?
Yeah, it should be on. Check it. I made some hamburger, potato, vegetable soup.
What number should it be on?
High. It needs to still be on high.
Did it shut off?
It shouldn't have. Can you check it and just turn it back on? I mean, everything was cooked. It was just, I was just waiting for the carrots to soften up. All right. You keep losing me. Oh, no. Why? Okay. Here we go, y'all. I've already sanded my board. I use wood mostly just because I get it from a cabinet maker. Some pours, they pour on canvas, tile. You can pour on glass. It's whatever your preference is, really. In a perfect world, I would tape the bottom of this so that the board is really super pretty on the bottom too, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. My tiles are getting divots. All right. Okay, so I'm going to put a base coat down, and I am going to use, these are the colors that I'm pouring with. And I'm going to pour over, where'd it go? This right here. That needs to go there, like that. All right, so I need some pouring cups. Oh, those are too big. Hold on, let me get some smaller cups. So So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I need to paint my board. So I'm going to paint it white. And yes, I'm going to use the same brush because it's not going to show.
Did you check them out?
Yes, I did. Whatever's on the table. You're welcome. All right, so here we go. Let me paint this. And yes, I'm mixing it with my turquoise wet sponge brush. Like I said, it's not going to matter because this should not show through. And if it does, it's okay. Sometimes it will matter. It just depends on the project that you're doing. Today, I also worked on our kitchen cabinets. We're doing a rehab house while we live in it. And I'm distressing our kitchen cabinets. So I've gotten a lot done today. Okay, whoops, I just got paint on my tablet. I'm going to take off the excess paint. Got too much paint on here. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't usually do that. I'm just not paying attention. Okay, that's all done. And I made some, well, I already told you, I made some potato hamburger vegetable soup. And I can smell it right now, and it smells so good. Okay, I wish my niece was watching. Ouch. All right, so let's start mixing the paint. Gosh, I have a mess over here. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to get this everywhere if I don't wipe it up. That's why I like using the freezer paper, because it's got a slick finish on it, and you can wipe stuff right off of it. If I don't wipe it up, I'm going to get it on something. All right, so we're going to need some Floetrol. Where that came from. I don't want to shake it too much because I don't want a ton of bubbles in there. And I put this potato bag on top of my Floetrol bottle so it catches the boogers. And the bag that my potatoes came in is what it is. And I just put a rubber band around it, and that keeps the boogers from coming into my cup. So that's not going to be enough. I'm going to add some more. I want to make sure I have plenty of paint for this project. All right. That should do it. Now we're going to start adding our paint colors in. And with the Floetrol, it's a little bit different. Some people will do 1 part paint to 1 part Floetrol. I've never done that. I try to keep that 10% rule. Ooh, running out of this desert turquoise. I love this color. Uh-oh. Really running out of it. Tabitha, is it still going in and out? Hope not. This is the last of this bottle. I love the Deco Art Desert Turquoise. It's a really pretty color. I'm going to put this bottle upside down for a minute so it can drain, and then I'm probably going to add more paint color. And now the gold. Oh, man. I'm getting all kind of trash on my board. I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to put some of this bronze mica spray in my gold. Can't promise you I'm going to like that idea, but I'm experimenting, so. Oh, that hurts. I would think that it would enhance it. I think it's me. I'm carrying you all over the house. Tabitha, I love you, girlfriend. You're so cute. Kathy, are you still with me? Oh, gosh, that is one kind of the Deco Art Metallic. I love that stuff. I'm going to add some more of this spray in there. I gave it 3 squirts before. I gave it 3 more. Oh, wow. I think it's going to enhance it. Unlike the epoxy, it really likes the Floetrol and the acrylic paint. Oh, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous, y'all. Whew, this will tire your arms. Those tiles are really looking pretty. I think I'm just going to have to add another layer of epoxy on them. Yes, watching you and a favorite show, multitasking. Awesome. All right, I knew I was going to have to put some more turquoise in here, so let's see if this bottle drained enough to get one less squirt in there. I don't know that I have. I guess I could always add some unicorn spit in there. Desert Storm is empty. Aw, it's so sad. I'm going to put some spit in there. Pretty, pretty. Oh, so pretty. Look at that color. Gorgeous. All right, this was the navy, I think. I think. I can't tell yet. I can't tell if it's navy or if it's the metallic black. Yep, this is the navy. And I want to put some silver in here. What do y'all think? Should I put some pewter in this one? Oh, I think I should. Why not? It's going to give it like a metallic. Yep, I think it needs more. Ooh. Wow. That's pretty. And I need some more color. What's my preferred brand of acrylics? I tend to lean towards folk art and the deco art, and I use a lot of metallics. That's a great question. Okay. Next is the black. Gosh, you get a good arm workout, that's for sure. Oh, this metallic black is so pretty. It doesn't need any help. So I'm not going to put a spray in there. All right, y'all. Okay, this is a long board. So it might need some help. Because this is going to cover up this section here. And it's probably going to come out to about that. And then I'm going to need, no, you know what? I'm just going to put it in the center and cover the corners with paint. So before I do that, I need a center. So all right, there it goes. Okay, y'all, here we go. So the order is going to be, I think, like that. Turquoise, navy, gold, and black. So here we go. Y'all sit back and enjoy. This is where my mouth stops moving because I get so concentrated. Just checking on you, Kathy, making sure I'm not missing your comments. Always make sure your table is level. I know that mine is not level. And I think I've just gotten used to it. But before I go any further, I'm going to prop it up because I can tell that it's wanting to go in that direction. Okay. So pretty. Hi, Elisa. How are you? Thank you for joining us. I'm really concentrated right now because this is just mesmerizing. Man, these colors are just yummy. So pretty, y'all. I hope I'm giving you some relaxation. The only thing that's missing is music. But I'm hoping that this is going to relax y'all. I'm going to tilt it a little bit. Okay, navy and then gold. Got to remember that I put the Mica spray in the gold so I can pay attention and see if it really made any kind of difference. Can't tell you how fun this is. Got a drip of paint. I'm just kind of playing with it. Okay, navy and then gold. This was the part that I was waiting for tonight. Tabitha says, I missed the mixing. Is this paint and Floetrol, or did you add silicone too? No silicone. This is just paint and Floetrol, and I sprayed the Mica spray in the gold and the navy, Tabitha. And then I added some unicorn spit to this turquoise just because I ran out of the turquoise color by Deco Art. So no silicone. Whoa. I would love to do this with epoxy. I think I'm going to try that on another video. Some turquoise. Okay, I think I'm going to add paint on the outsides, and then I'm going to start tilting. So because I have 4 colors, I'm going to put 1 color per corner. Sorry, there's not a lot of talking. I'm so concentrated, aren't I? All right, and then the black. Y'all, these colors are gorgeous. And I think it did make a difference that I added the spray into, let me see, I added in the navy. I don't really see a difference there. In the gold, I do. Okay, so I got to lift this little baby. And I'm going to pour the rest of my turquoise in the center, and I'm also going to add some gold. Okay, here we go, y'all. Trying to keep track of that center. Okay, let me move it back over here. And I gotta stand up. Okay. I like it. Oh my word. Okay, I'm going to have to somehow wipe these hands or I'm going to have drips in my piece. What do y'all think? It's turning out good. Tabitha says it's so pretty. Thank you, Tabitha. Thank you, Elisa. Kathy, are you still with us? All right. The next thing that I'm going to do is run my popsicle stick underneath, because if there's drips underneath, it's going to drag the surface paint off as well. So I'm going to get a clean one. Let me take some heat to it. And I'm not going to do anything else to it. I like the way it turned out. Oh yeah, see, there's all kind of underneath paint that's just dying to drag off surface paint. And we don't want to do that. We want to keep that paint up top, right where it's at. Whoops. Whoops. I want that to come out. Let's go again. Okay. That turned out really pretty. I can't wait to epoxy it. The edges came out good. What do y'all think? End result is gorgeous. Thank you, Tabitha. That means a lot. Loving the colors. Yeah. I love the colors too. I see something in there that a little white flake of something. I don't even know what that was. Yeah, I like it, y'all. So pretty. This will be one of my auction pieces. And I'll keep doing that. Like in about another hour, I'm going to come back out here. And do another sweep because more of this paint is going to find its way off the board. I tried to keep that center as centered as I possibly could. So I'm really happy with it. Ooh, that was not cool. There we go. Y'all, this is so pretty. I love it. I love that gold and the black. The black took on some of the gold sparkle. So that the metallic, I guess, is really coming through. So pretty, y'all. I love it. Okay. That's going to be it for tonight. I'm going to go have some dinner with my husband. He just got home a little bit ago, and while I was doing this video, and maybe I'll get some really pretty overpour paint on the freezer paper so that I can make some jewelry out of it. Some of it down here is looking really, really good. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and end the video on Facebook. I'm going to try to lean over and click the button. Thank you so much, y'all, for joining me. It's always fun to pour with friends. Friends don't let friends pour alone. So thank you so much for joining me on Facebook. I appreciate it. And if you haven't checked out my YouTube channel, go check it out. It's Southern Makes. I want to say it's Southern Makes All Things Crafty. I think that's what I title the channel. It's a brand new channel, but go check it out. And if you're joining me on YouTube, if you haven't checked me out on Facebook, go check me out on Southern Makes VIP group, All Things Crafty on Facebook. So, ladies, thank you very much for watching and joining. I'm going to try to lean over and hit the button. Have a wonderful evening. I'm going to go have some dinner with my hubs. I'll see you next time on Southern Makes Live. Bye. And if you are joining me on YouTube, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Please, if you haven't already done it, hit the subscribe button and then click the little bell so you'll get notifications from YouTube when I do a live video. And that way you can watch these cool things happen. I'm very pleased with tonight's pour. I'm very pleased with the product testing. After this dries, I'm going to give it 2 days to dry. I'll let you know what the results are on both the tiles and the pour as far as the products go. But in the meantime, thank you so much for joining me. Kathy, have a wonderful evening. Thanks for joining me and asking all the cool questions. Oh, thank you. Kathy says, awesome, girly. Thank you so much, Kathy. I'll see you next time on Southern Makes Live, and I'll see you on Gina's site. Bye.